My child, before you scroll away, stop for a moment. This is not an accident. You did not find this message by chance. I know what you've been carrying in silence. I know the battles you've been fighting behind closed doors. I know about the tears that nobody saw. The prayers you whispered when you thought nobody was listening. The nights when sleep would not come because your mind was overwhelmed with worry. I was there. And today, I need you to hear something that could change everything. The burden you've been carrying was never meant to break you. The storm surrounding you was never sent to destroy you. What feels like a delay is not a denial. What feels like a setback is actually preparation. You have been asking me for a sign. You have been wondering if I still hear you. You have questioned whether your prayers are reaching heaven. Listen carefully. I hear every prayer. I see every tear. I know every fear hidden in your heart. And today I am telling you this. Do not give up now. You are much closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The enemy wants you discouraged because he knows what I have prepared for you. He wants you distracted because he sees the blessing coming. He wants you to quit because your miracle is closer than ever before. But I brought you here today for a reason. Stay until the end of this message. Because what you are about to hear may be exactly what your soul has been waiting for. Take a deep breath. Open your heart. And listen carefully. Because I am speaking directly to you. Part 1. God sees your hidden struggles, my beloved child. There are moments when life feels heavier than you can explain. You smile in front of others while carrying pain inside. You tell people you're fine while your heart feels exhausted. You continue showing up for everyone else while secretly wondering who will show up for you. I see it all. Nothing about your life is hidden from me. Not the disappointment. Not the loneliness. Not the frustration. Not the confusion. I know there have been times when you looked around and wondered why others seemed to move ahead while you remained stuck. You have watched doors open for other people while your own opportunities seemed delayed. You have asked questions that nobody could answer. Why is this taking so long? Why does it seem like nothing is changing? Why do I feel forgotten? My child, hear me clearly. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. And you are certainly not abandoned. While you were focused on the closed doors, I was preparing a better door. While you were discouraged by delays, I was arranging details you could not yet see. While you felt alone, I was walking beside you every step of the way. The truth is that some blessings require preparation. A seed does not become a tree overnight. A promise does not become reality in a single moment. There is a process between the prayer and the answer. There is a journey between the promise and the fulfillment. And that journey is where faith grows stronger. You may not understand every detail of what I am doing, but you do not need to understand everything to trust me. Think about all the times I protected you without your knowledge. The opportunities that were removed because they would have harmed you. The relationships that ended because they were not part of your future. The delays that saved you from unnecessary pain. You call some things disappointments. I call them protection. You call some seasons losses. I call them preparation. You call some moments failures. I call them lessons. Nothing you have experienced has been wasted. Every challenge has taught you something. Every obstacle has strengthened you. Every difficult season has prepared you for the next chapter one have planned. So stop measuring your life by what you can currently see. Trust me for what you cannot yet see. Because even now, I am working behind the scenes. Even now, I am opening doors. Even now, I am arranging opportunities. Even now, I am positioning people and circumstances in ways that will eventually make sense. Your story is not over. Your best days are not behind you. The chapter you are currently living is not the final chapter. I am still writing your story, and what comes next will reveal why you had to walk through everything you've experienced. So hold on. Keep believing. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Because I am not finished with you yet. Part 2. God is preparing a miracle you cannot see. My child. There are blessings already moving toward you that you cannot see with your physical eyes. Right now, while you are listening to this message, I am working in places you have never been. I am touching hearts you have never met. I am arranging opportunities you have not yet discovered. I am creating paths where you currently see walls. Many times you become discouraged because you judge your future by your present circumstances. You look at your bank account. You look at your problems. You look at your limitations. You look at the obstacles standing in front of you. Then you decide that nothing will ever change. But my child, when have I ever been limited by what humans call impossible? Remember this. I am not controlled by circumstances. I am not restricted by timelines. I am not intimidated by obstacles. What seems impossible to you is still possible with me. The mountain that appears too large for you is not too large for me. The problem keeping you awake at night is not beyond my power. The situation that feels hopeless is not hopeless in my hands. Many people give up moments before their breakthrough arrives. They stop believing when the answer is already on the way. They stop praying when heaven is already moving. They stop trusting when their miracle is closer than ever. Do not make that mistake. Keep believing. Keep standing. Keep trusting. Because what I am doing in your life is greater than what you currently understand. You may think I am silent. But silence does not mean absence. When a builder constructs a foundation, much of the work happens underground. Nobody sees it. Nobody applauds it. Nobody celebrates it. Yet without the foundation, the building cannot stand. In the same way, I have been building foundations in your life. I have been strengthening your character. I have been developing your faith. I have been teaching you patience. I have been preparing you for responsibilities greater than anything you've handled before. Because the blessing I have prepared for you requires the person you are becoming. The waiting season is not punishment. It is preparation. The delay is not rejection. It is positioning. The struggle is not proof that I have left you. It is proof that I am strengthening you. One day you will look back on this season and understand why everything happened the way it did. One day you will realize that what seemed like a setback was actually a setup for something greater. One day you will thank me for prayers I did not answer the way you expected. Because my plans are higher than your plans. My vision extends beyond what you can currently see. And my purpose for your life is greater than your temporary struggles. So stop focusing on what is missing. Start remembering what remains. You still have breath in your lungs. You still have purpose. You still have opportunities ahead of you. You still have my promises. And most importantly, you still have me. That alone is enough reason to keep moving forward. My child, I know there are moments when fear tries to take control. Fear tells you that things will never improve. Fear tells you that you have missed your chance. Fear tells you that your dreams are too big. Fear tells you that your best days are gone. But fear is a liar. Do not build your future around fear. Build your future around faith. Faith believes before it sees. Faith trusts before it understands. Faith moves forward even when the path is unclear. And faith opens the door for miracles. I want you to understand something important today. The miracle is not only the blessing that is coming. The miracle is also the person you are becoming through the process. You are stronger than you were before. Wiser than you were before. More resilient than you were before. Closer to me than you were before. The challenges that were meant to break you have actually been shaping you. The attacks that were meant to stop you have made you stronger. The disappointments that were meant to discourage you have deepened your dependence on me. That is why you must not quit. Do not allow temporary pain to make permanent decisions. Do not allow one difficult chapter to convince you the story is over. There are still chapters you have not read. There are still blessings you have not received. There are still prayers waiting to be answered. There are still victories waiting to be celebrated. And there are still miracles waiting to unfold. The breakthrough you have been praying for may arrive in a way you never expected. The answer may come from a direction you never considered. The opportunity may appear when you least anticipate it. That is how I often work. I specialize in surprising my children. I create rivers in deserts. I make paths through impossible situations. I bring hope where people expect defeat. And I bring light into the darkest places. So today I ask you to release your worries into my hands. Release the fear. Release the anxiety. Release the pressure to figure everything out. You do not need to carry what I have already promised to handle. Trust me with your future. Trust me with your family. Trust me with your finances. Trust me with your dreams. Trust me with your healing. Trust me with your unanswered questions. Because even now, I am working behind the scenes. Even now, I am opening doors no one can shut. Even now, I am making a way where there appears to be no way. Your miracle is not a matter of if. It is a matter of when. And when the time is right, what I have prepared for you will arrive in a way that leaves no doubt that it came from me. So keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith alive. Because something beautiful is being prepared for you right now. Part 3, God says, your season is about to change, my beloved child. I know that this season has felt long. Longer than you expected. Longer than you prayed for. Longer than you believed you could endure. There were days when you felt strong. There were days when hope filled your heart. But there were also days when discouragement tried to take over. Days when you questioned whether anything would ever change. Days when you wondered if your prayers were simply disappearing into silence. Yet I tell you today, nothing you have prayed for has been ignored. Nothing you have cried about has been forgotten. Nothing you have entrusted to me has been lost. Every prayer has been heard. Every tear has been collected. Every moment of faith has been seen. And now a new season is approaching. Many people want the harvest without the planting. They want the reward without the preparation. They want the blessing without the process. But my child, everything has a season. There is a season for waiting, a season for learning, a season for growing, and there is also a season for receiving. The season you are entering will not look like the season you are leaving. The confusion will not last forever. The struggle will not last forever. The loneliness will not last forever. The uncertainty will not last forever. Because I am bringing change. Perhaps not in the exact way you expect. Perhaps not according to your preferred timeline. But according to my perfect plan. And my plans are always worth waiting for. You have spent too much time focusing on what went wrong. Today I want you to focus on what can still go right. Stop replaying past failures. Stop reliving old disappointments. Stop carrying burdens that I never asked you to carry. Your future is not determined by your mistakes. Your future is not determined by what others think about you. Your future is not determined by your past. Your future is determined by my purpose for your life. And my purpose is still active. My promises are still alive. My plans are still moving forward, even when you cannot see them. Think about how many times you survived situations that should have defeated you. Think about how many storms you have already overcome. Think about the obstacles that once seemed impossible but are now behind you. You made it through those seasons because I was with you. And I am still with you today. The same God who carried you through yesterday is carrying you through today. And the same God who carries you today will lead you into tomorrow. You are not walking this journey alone. Every step you take, I am there. Every challenge you face, I am there. Every prayer you whisper, I am listening. The enemy wants you focused on what you lack. I want you focused on what remains. You still have hope. You still have faith. You still have purpose. You still have opportunity. And most importantly, you still have me. That is enough. My child, some doors had to close because they were not part of your destiny. Some relationships had to end because they were not aligned with your future. Some plans had to fail because they would have taken you away from my best. At the time, it felt painful. At the time, it felt unfair. At the time, it felt like loss. But one day you will see the protection hidden inside the disappointment. One day you will understand why certain things did not work out. One day you will recognize that what looked like rejection was actually redirection. I was protecting you from things you could not see. I was guiding you toward things you had not yet discovered. I was leading you toward a future greater than the one you imagined. So stop worrying about the closed doors. Focus on the doors I am preparing to open. Because no person can stop what I have ordained. No obstacle can cancel what I have planned. No delay can destroy what I have promised. What I have spoken over your life will come to pass. Not because of your strength, not because of your perfection, but because of my faithfulness. I am faithful even when you struggle. Faithful even when you doubt. Faithful even when you grow tired. Faithful even when you cannot see the next step. That is who I am. Today I want you to make a decision. Choose faith over fear. Choose trust over anxiety. Choose hope over discouragement. Choose gratitude over complaint. Because your mindset determines how you walk through the season. Do not spend your days expecting the worst. Expect my goodness. Expect my favor. Expect my guidance. Expect my provision. Expect my peace. Not because life will always be easy, but because I will always be with you. And where I am present, there is hope. Where I am present, there is strength. Where I am present, there is peace. Your season is changing. The darkness will not remain forever. The waiting will not remain forever. The struggle will not remain forever. A new chapter is coming. A chapter filled with growth. A chapter filled with purpose. A chapter filled with opportunities you never imagined possible. So keep moving forward. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep praying. Because the story I am writing for your life is far from finished. And what comes next may become one of the greatest testimonies you have ever experienced. Your season is changing. Your breakthrough is approaching. And I am already making the way. Part 4. God says, stop carrying what belongs to me, my precious child. There is something I need you to understand today. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant for your shoulders. You have been trying to solve problems that only I can solve. You have been exhausting yourself worrying about tomorrow while forgetting that I am already there. You spend hours thinking about what might happen. You replay conversations in your mind. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You try to predict every possible outcome. And the more you think, the heavier the burden becomes. But hear me clearly. I never asked you to carry the weight of the entire future. I never asked you to control every situation. I never asked you to have all the answers. I simply asked you to trust me. Trust is not pretending that problems don't exist. Trust is knowing that I am greater than those problems. Trust is not denying reality. Trust is believing that my power is bigger than your circumstances. Trust is not the absence of fear. Trust is choosing faith even when fear tries to speak louder. My child, worry has stolen too much of your peace. It has robbed you of joy in moments that should have been enjoyed. It has distracted you from blessings that were right in front of you. It has convinced you that everything depends on you. But everything does not depend on you. I am God. You are not. And that should bring you comfort. Because if everything depended on your strength, your wisdom, and your ability, you would have reason to fear. But your future depends on me. Your life is in my hands. Your purpose is in my hands. Your destiny is in my hands. And my hands never fail. There are things happening right now that you cannot control. People making decisions. Circumstances unfolding. Opportunities developing. Doors opening and closing. You cannot manage every detail. But I can. I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not know. I understand what you cannot understand. That is why I am asking you to release your burdens today. Release the anxiety. Release the pressure. Release the fear of failure. Release the fear of rejection. Release the fear that nothing will ever change. Give it to me, not because the burden is small, but because my strength is greater. Some of you listening have become tired. Not physically tired, soul tired, emotionally exhausted, mentally drained, spiritually weary. You have carried disappointment for so long that it feels normal. You have carried stress for so long that you no longer remember what peace feels like. But that is not how I want you to live. I created you for more than constant anxiety. I created you for more than endless worry. I created you to walk in peace. Not because life would always be easy, but because you would know I am with you. Peace does not come from perfect circumstances. Peace comes from trusting a perfect God. The world says you need to know everything before you can relax. I say trust me and let me guide your steps. The world says worry is preparation. I say faith is preparation. The world says carry your burdens alone. I say bring them to me. You were never designed to carry life by yourself. That is why I walk beside you. That is why I strengthen you. That is why I comfort you. That is why I guide you. Every time you choose trust over fear, you grow stronger. Every time you surrender your worries, your faith grows deeper. Every time you place your future in my hands, you make room for my peace. My child, some battles are won through action. Others are won through surrender. Not surrender to defeat. Surrender to me. Because when you surrender your fears to me, you gain my strength. When you surrender your worries to me, you gain my peace. When you surrender your plans to me, you gain my direction. You do not have to carry everything alone. You do not have to figure everything out today. You do not have to solve every problem immediately. Take one step at a time. Part 5, God says, your best days are still ahead of you. My beloved child. As you listen to these final words, I want you to remember one thing above all else. Your story is not over. No matter what you have faced. No matter what you have lost. No matter how many mistakes you believe you have made. Your story is not over. The enemy wants you to believe that your greatest opportunities have already passed. He wants you to believe that it is too late. Too late to dream. Too late to start again. Too late to heal. Too late to succeed. Too late to become who I created you to be. But that is not the truth. The truth is that I am a God of new beginnings. I create opportunities where none seem to exist. I restore what appears broken. I renew what seems exhausted. I bring life to places people have written off as hopeless. And I am not finished with you. There are blessings you have not yet seen. Relationships you have not yet formed. Opportunities you have not yet discovered. Prayers you have not yet seen answered. Victories you have not yet celebrated. Your future is larger than your current circumstances. Your destiny is greater than your temporary struggles. And my purpose for your life is stronger than any obstacle standing in your way. My child, too many people spend their lives looking backward. They replay old failures. They relive old disappointments. They remain trapped in memories of what could have been. But I did not create you to live in the past. I created you to move forward. Learn from the past. Grow from the past. But do not live there. The best chapters of your story are still waiting to be written. I know there are dreams inside your heart that seem impossible. Dreams you stopped talking about. Dreams you stopped believing in. Dreams you buried because disappointment convinced you they would never happen. But I have not forgotten those dreams. And if those dreams came from me, either should you. The world measures possibility by human ability. I measure possibility by my power. The world sees limitations. I see opportunities. The world sees obstacles. I see pathways. The world sees impossibility. I see miracles. That is why you must continue believing, even when evidence seems absent, even when circumstances appear unchanged, even when progress feels slow. Keep believing. Faith is not based on what you see. Faith is based on who I am. And I am faithful. Faithful yesterday. Faithful today. Faithful forever. There will be moments in the future when you look back on this season. And you will realize that what seemed like a painful delay was actually divine preparation. You will understand why certain doors closed. You will understand why certain prayers required waiting. You will understand why certain struggles were necessary. Because I was preparing you for something greater. The strength you gained was necessary. The wisdom you gained was necessary. The character you developed was necessary. Nothing has been wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single prayer. Not a single moment of faith. I have been using every part of your journey for a purpose. And that purpose is unfolding even now. So today I ask you to lift your eyes. Stop focusing only on what is wrong. Start recognizing what is possible. Stop expecting disappointment. Start expecting my goodness. Stop assuming the worst. Start trusting my promises. Because your future is not defined by fear. It is defined by faith. And faith changes everything. My child, there are people you will encourage. Lives you will impact. Hearts you will inspire. Blessings you will receive. And testimonies you will share. One day you will tell others about the season you are currently walking through. You will tell them how impossible it seemed. How difficult it felt. How hopeless it looked. And then you will tell them how I made a way. How I opened doors. How I provided. How I healed. How I restored. How I carried you through. Your testimony is being written right now. The chapter may not be complete, but the author is still writing. And the author never abandons the story. Before this message ends, I want you to remember these words. You are loved. You are chosen. You are seen. You are valued. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not defeated. You are not abandoned. I am with you. I have always been with you. And I will continue to be with you. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. The future is brighter than you think. The breakthrough is closer than you realize. And the best days of your life are still ahead of you. Trust me. Follow me. And never forget this. What I have planned for you is greater than anything you have left behind. Now go forward in faith. Go forward in peace. Go forward knowing that I am making all things work together for your good. And when the time is right, you will see that every step of this journey was leading you towards something beautiful. I am with you. I am for you. And your story is only beginning. Amen. If this message spoke to your heart, type Amen in the comments and subscribe for more daily God's messages. Remember, God is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see it.